Now we would like to call upon Ms. Laree once again to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2015.
It is my great honor to introduce to you our next speaker, who is the very first valedictorian, class council president, National Honor Society president of Teason High School. In the beginning, she spread her wings as a JQ San Miguel Eagle. During her awkward preteen phase, she navigated life as a Jose Rios Voyager. In her first 3 years of high school, she bled purple and gold as a George Washington gecko. Now, she stands strong as a proud and honored Teason Titan. This future humanitarian of the world has always worked diligently and selflessly to help her school, her class, her peers, and anyone in need, all the while still being able to maintain her grades and, more importantly, her sanity. She enjoys hiking, reading, and nice short strolls to the fridge. In the future, she hopes to master all 4 elements in order to become the new Avatar. And if time allows her, she also hopes to capture all 649 Pokemon. In the meanwhile, she hopes to create an efficient, cost-effective, easy-to-assemble water filtration system to provide secluded villages around the world with the necessary equipment in order to enjoy water without the fear of disease. She also hopes to improve the lives of those living in impoverished areas with whatever help she can, and to also inspire others to never walk away from an opportunity to improve the lives of others. She draws her inspiration from God, the world, and her squad. Please join me as I welcome the beautiful daughter of Vincent and Elizabeth Camacho, Miss Annie Faye Canitas Camacho.
Thank you, Ms. Reed, for that beautiful introduction. Okay. Usually, a graduation speech starts with an inspiring quote from some famous dead guy, or a funny anecdote about how we felt when we were scared little tiny freshmen entering a new school. But for this speech, you're not gonna get that. Because, 1, to open up with an inspiring speech from someone that's supposed to summarize how we felt and what we went through would be wrong. I'm so sorry. It would be wrong because the true inspiration comes from the people sitting in front of me, the graduates. 2, I can't tell you any scary, funny, or crazy stories about being a tiny little freshman at Teason High, because we were never one. We started this year and we're ending this year. 3, finally, I'm not starting with an inspiring quote or a funny anecdote because I'm a little more creative than that. I mean, look at me. When you're not athletic or you're not going to be in the running to become America's Next Top Model, you got to find creative ways to get to the top. Brownie points by having your parents be proud of you by thinking, OMG, my son or daughter inspired the valedictorian. Hashtag blessed. I called you all inspirations because I truly believe that you are. Change is good, but it's not always easy. Especially when you spend 3 years at a school that you call home, but then are told that you can't be there for your final year. There are some that embrace the change and were eager to move on, but for most, it was difficult. We asked ourselves, how are we supposed to have the senior year that we dreamed of? How are we supposed to be proud of a school we know nothing about? How are we supposed to move on? We kept asking ourselves question after question, worrying about how much we're going to hate the next year of our lives, but when we walked into campus, our first day of school, I know we were surprised. As I walked down the hallway for the first time, I stared down at the ground, and I thought to myself, wow, there's no puka spill on the floor. When I sat down in my first class, I was brave enough to fill the bottom of my desk, and to my surprise, taught Dego. Throughout the year, Tizan has surprised me in more ways than one. In Tizan, I found teachers that cared more about more than just grades. I found an administration team that was eager to help us with a smile. I found people that I don't want to let go of. In 180 days, I found the second family. Kids in other schools spend 4 years together, and yet we have a stronger bond than all of them combined. Like I said before, change is good. I'm gonna cry. I can see it. Like I said before, change is good, but it's not always easy. Lord knows the road has been rough. And the cliche thing to say would be that there were a few bumps in the road. But for us, it was more like Momom Village back road with all the stops and potholes. As someone who has been in council since freshman year, I looked at how much time we had to plan events, graduation, prom, and all those other senior stuff. And prayed for a miracle because we needed one. I wasn't sure how we were going to pull this off, but I held on to my faith because I promised myself that I wouldn't leave this school knowing that I didn't do my best to make sure that every senior had the time of their lives, and that the school was something that we could all be proud of. So here we are now, in a wonderfully decorated ballroom with our friends and family. We faced adversity, and we decked it right in the face. Time was never on our side, but we always found ways to make it work. In the beginning, we asked ourselves how we were going to have the senior year of our dreams, how we were going to be proud of a school we knew nothing about, how we were going to move on. The answer to that is to stop thinking and start doing. You'll have the senior year of your dreams by meeting new people and having fun. You become proud of the school when you do something to make others proud of it too. You move on by taking the first step forward. After this, we go on to new beginnings and a lot more questions. We are no stranger to change, but at TZAC, we've learned to adapt and embrace change. The road will be tough, but I know you can make it because I've seen what you can do. In all my years of schooling, I've never seen a more loving and supportive group of people. Everyone has each other's backs because that's just what families do. My hope for the future is that we remember this moment. As we move forward in life, we remember this moment, who we are and how we got here. People say never look back, always push forward. But I'm telling you today to look back because you are who you are because of your past. Not all flashbacks are going to be great, but that's where we learn from them. When we leave here, we have to remember that we can't answer all of life's questions, but we have to at least try. It will be scary, it will be tough, it will be difficult, but in the end, it will be worth it. Before I leave here, I just want to take time out to thank four people. Firstly, I'd like to thank God for always being there with me and believing in me when there were times I didn't believe in Him. Secondly, I'd like to thank Miss Mariana Hernandez. Besides being an amazing teacher and advisor, she's actually Miss Hernandez. show me that you don't have to be brave all the time, and that crying is okay because it means that you're human and that you fail. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for just being you. You knew you will. As long as I don't look like Kim Kardashian when she cries, it's fine. Okay. Third, I'd like to acknowledge my grandpa, Papa Denda. He died of Parkinson's last January, so physically he's not here with us today.
Right, Annie.
Parkinson's made him shake more than a tomorrow in Antarctica. but we loved him regardless. But he was always a fighter. He was such a stubborn old man, but we loved him regardless. He was or more so always will be the core of our family. So thank you, Papa, and rest in peace. Lastly, I'd like to thank my dad, Vincent Thomas Camacho. He couldn't make it today, but I know if he could, then he would. He's the best father and the best friend that I could ever ask for. When I was younger, we didn't have much money. We lived in a small house near the swamp, and we did what we could. Despite that, my dad always remained loving, caring, and attentive. He's the strongest, kindest, and most selfless person I know. People always ask me what I want to do or who I want to be when I grow up. I always tell them I don't know because all they want to know is about my major or future career option. The real answer, the answer I never give people, is that I want to be just like my dad. Just by watching him, I learned how to treat others with respect, how to always help those in need, and more importantly, how to love. I never had one moment where I felt like he didn't love me. So thank you, Dad, and I hope you're proud of me. Thank you for this opportunity to speak.